everyone, and welcome back to the Radiant Sunday podcast. I am your host, Celine, and in today's episode, I want to talk about dreams and intuitions, how we can enhance our intuitions, opening our third eye, all that stuff. I love talking about the universe, and I love unlocking all these abilities that we all have. I'm so excited you're here today. Let's dive right in. To start with, intuition, when we think of it, people say this is our sixth sense. It's not really a sixth sense because we have five senses. It's more like a sensitivity or an acuity to different frequencies and vibrations. There are many ways to enhance this, but one of which is through our dreams. Our dreams are very closely related to our intuition, to our subconscious, and there's techniques I can show you how to remember your dreams and interpret your dreams versus your subconscious mind better. So people with sun placements such as Pisces, Cancer, Scorpios, they are ruled by water. They are more mutable signs compared to air and other signs. This is because they are ruled by water, and water flows through the currents, through sound and frequencies. It travels more effectively compared to air. This is due to the different densities in molecular structures. Now, with the density molecular structure, if you remember your chemistry class, water is closely packed and bonded, so sounds can travel, they can propagate efficiently through this cohesive medium. And then there is the speed of sound. So just like how the whales and dolphins, they can communicate through sonar, what's called the echolocation. This can range through miles and miles. It's how they can communicate through their clicks and other sounds that they make. And then intuition is the same. It's kind of like listening to those sensitivities and refining your acuity. To feel other dimensions or to hear higher beings, it's not as hearing specifically like you're schizophrenic, but it's more like that knowing. That's why they call it a download. And it's almost like a light bulb lighting up in your brain. You're like, oh, that's why I need to do that. And this voice, this knowing, this knowledge that you download, kind of, it gets louder and louder as more you open yourself to these other realms. So we all have the same tools. We all have it. We just need to refine our senses. In order to do this, for example, we need to cultivate how to touch better. If you're touching a fabric, like really feel that fabric. If you're smelling, we need to taste better. Taste the textures, the different layers. Listen to really see the minute details. We're constantly in a rush. We just want to do something and finish it right away instead of being present. That's why a lot of these authors, they say, be here now, because you need to pause and really feel. Because when you do that, you open yourself to more things around you. When you are sucking a lollipop, feel the shape of the lollipop. Like, what does it taste like? What does it feel like in your mouth? Does it make you salivate? Like, perceive the full expression of this candy. Maybe you're eating a sour candy. So you notice, this sour candy makes me cringe. This makes me feel uncomfortable. I get goosebumps. Like, I feel different. If you remember those pop rock candies, you're like, oh, like, I feel different sensations in my tongue. There's like a sharp, jagged candy there. They're sweet, it's rough. This is an apple candy or whatever taste it is. And you gradually taste different things, different layers. When you're drinking wine, you can tell that it's dry wine. You can tell that it's medium bodied, full bodied. You can smell the pepper in it. You can smell blackberries. When you're drinking whiskey, you can kind of tell, oh, this is smoky, this is sweet, this is just different layers. And all together, you can collapse this into one stack of pancakes. If you're eating a chocolate tower, you can kind of tell that, oh, this is the cake part, this is the frosting part, this is the chocolate mousse, this is the cherry. I can tell the difference. You can differentiate. However, this whole stack is connected, but you have that knowing that you've sliced into your fork. This is one piece of cake, but I can tell the difference. In music, you can tell that, oh, that's the bass, that's the piano, that's the violin, that's the vocals, the different layers, but all in one ensemble that creates harmony and melody. That's why they say everything is happening all at once. But we cultivate that knowing, that knowledge that there's a lot of different layers, different dimensions happening all at once within us. You have these Russian doll of layers, and you can discern where and which layers you're feeling. So clairvoyant people have the ability to define that and refine it. It takes practice, just like how surgeons can get better at surgery. They can, not mistakenly cut an artery. And artists can refine their drawings. They can draw very fine details, paintings. Musicians can feel the next note. If you're singing Taylor Swift, you just know the next lyrics. You can resonate with the feeling by perceiving. Air signs are constantly thinking, so I suggest stop, slow down, and perceive, like, what is happening in my body now? What are my sensations? Fire signs, they're mostly like, I want it now, now, now. So pause and wait. Earth signs, they kind of correlate one sensation over the other. Oh, this matches this, so I have to do this, and this matches that, so I have to do that. Instead, again, just feeling, perception. That is why water signs are more mutable. They kind of go with the flow. So, and intuition means interi in Latin. That means to contemplate. This is the act of contemplating something through direct perception or insight. Eventually, it evolved to intuition, meaning without the need of conscious reasoning. More examples is, when you get that urge that something is going to happen, and then you act on it, and you're like, I knew it, I was right. That is your clairvoyant abilities. That is your intuition. When you cancel with your friend, you were supposed to hang out, and they're disappointed, and then they say, oh, no worries, it's okay. But deep down, you know that it's not fine. It's reading those cues. reading the vibes, that's your clairvoyance or your intuition. You have that knowing, that higher intelligence inside of you. It's not even in your head, it's more like in your heart, like deep within you. So the higher beings, they're always watching us. And if you think about it, praying is like you talking to God, and your intuition is God talking back to you. God, source, whatever you name it, the universe talking back to you. So intuition is understanding the feeling and imagining which way to go. Feeling the ocean where the waves are coming from, or the river, where is the flow of the river coming. Now, to activate, you have to feel with your senses, practice refining, feeling the depth. And just like how a blind person can activate their other senses much higher, you start to develop those senses. Biologically, we are designed to survive. That is our reptilian brain. Our feeble monkey brains have nothing against these urges. There are predators out there, and like we think about, where can we get food? Where can we get water? How can we survive? That's always in our brain. We can't help it. But taking the time to pause and kind of corral yourself from those conditionings, from those situations, what other people perceive us. Instead, you start to look within. That is why meditation is so important, because it allows you to break down those walls, to create a safe space where you can just freely think and without any expectations. You are in this void of nothingness. You are simply but a thought. And that is when you can start to listen to that inner voice inside of you. Now, there's many different types of clairs. Clairvoyance, you have photosensitivity to photons. Animals have it, like dogs, they can kind of tell like there's somebody there. There's it's that intuition, that sensation. They can perceive frequencies that are far away. They can hear very fine frequencies that a car is coming. You have clairaudience, the sonar, so many different types of clairs, like feeling, the empathy. That is your intelligence. In Latin, it's called intelligentia, or inter, meaning in between. And then legere means to choose or pick. This is the ability to choose or discern between different options, to read between lines and interpret, comprehend complex ideas. That is what makes us more superior than other animals, because we have the intelligence to perceive, like, oh, that's a red light, that means stop. Red can also mean pain. Red can also mean lust, different things. And through evolution, we constantly capture and perceive those informations. We can interpret and comprehend through our intelligence. Now, there's different types of intelligence, but we'll divide it into 3 different layers. You have your subconscious, you have your unconscious, and your conscious states. Intelligence can be logic, can be reasoning. You have spatial intelligence. You have artistic intelligence. You might have emotional intelligence. There's several types of intelligence. But 70% of the information that is stored in your database of memory is in your subconscious. your conscious mind through your eyes perceive this, and then the information travels through synapses and your neurons, and it's stored in the back office of your brain. This is your database. Then your unconscious, for example, when we are talking, you consciously know what it means innately. I, for example, English wasn't my first language, so when I was first starting to learn English, I was still dreaming in Tagalog, which is our language in the Philippines, and I would have to translate my first language and then translate it again to English. And over time, I kind of learned more words. I learned how to perceive and talk in English with subconsciously not thinking about the words. It kind of just goes with the flow. So when you're driving home, you might notice, like, you just know where you need to go. Like, you need to turn left, you need to turn right. And then when you are riding a bike, you just know how to use the pedals because you've learned this a long time ago, and you are connecting your unconscious and your subconscious. Like, you don't even have to think. Then your conscious state is where you do a lot of your problem solving, your critical thinking. This takes all the data. You use deductive reasoning to do something. Oh, I need bread. Therefore, I will drive to Target. I will go to the bread aisle. I will pick up the bread and pay for the bread. This is where the steps happen. You use your eyes, you use your motor functions, and you go through the steps of buying bread. You are consciously doing it until later on it becomes unconscious, and you can just kind of know, I need bread. Okay, these are the steps I need to go through. So spirit is light, but light has different frequencies. So when we perceive energies, or what we call souls, soul is how we perceive spiritual light. You know how they say that in the beginning of time, there was light, there was source. There was one white light that refracted into different colors. That's where the rainbows, the chakra system comes from, through refraction. That is why we say that our eyes are the windows of the soul. It interprets this universal language through frequencies. And because we are the same light bodies, we have those chakra systems going through us. We are one with the light. We are one with source, because we are refractions of that same white light. That is where our soul comes. And the conscious mind, when we widen our aperture to the other frequencies, we become hypersensitive and widen our acuity to these senses. Our peripheral vision, we become more aware of it. We have been so unconscious because we perceive our life through the lens of others, through conditioning. And this is where the concept of awakening comes from. We activate our pineal gland, which releases our DMT molecule. This is the inner sight going within inside. So you're essentially activating all these three parts of your brain: your subconscious, your unconscious, your conscious states, all of those stored memories, and you awaken to this perception, the overall 360 spectrum of vision inside and outside of you. You now have this 360 top-down view. you can perceive not just what's in 3D dimensions, you can perceive the different layers, the different dimensions of your soul, your being. Because, not to sound morbid, when I've seen people die before, like they take their last breath, and when their soul leaves or when their heart just stops, like watching an EKG just dwindle down until it's flatline, it's like that is life leaving out of this vessel. It's almost like it feels empty because the soul is what makes you who you are, and your heart beating is like a battery pack that fuels your whole system. It's the battery pack where if you go to your doctor's office, they have the EKGs, it's the electrocurrent that runs through your body that circulates your blood and helps you function. That's why some people need like pacemakers, because their heart might be bradycardic, or their hearts might have irregular heartbeats, or it might be beating too fast, so they need pacemakers to kind of go back into the right rhythm. And so you integrate all of this wisdom and you open your eyes, your third eye. You have for example, your left eye is to see the negative, your right eye is to see the positive, and your third eye is to see both sides. It's like opening the Pandora's box. You open yourself to all these possibilities. You understand yourself better. You have the database of the whole universe inside your brain. Because you are connected, your soul is connected to the tree of life. It is connected to all past lifetimes. It is connected to Earth. It is connected to all the beings in this universe. In Rome, they say, Sic trans gloria mundi. It explains that thus passes the glory of the world. This is used to remind people of the impermanence of the worldly achievements and fleeting nature of human existence. It reflects the idea of even the most powerful, influential individuals and empires will eventually decline, to be replaced by others. This is evolution. We all have to suffer. We all have to go through the motions of life, go around our samsara to activate our potential. Bad is not really bad. If you consider the way evolution has to happen, bad is just kind of like a tool. It has to happen so change can come in. The only way to end your suffering is to awaken from the suffering. Now, how to remember dreams. First of all, drink plenty of water 30 minutes before bed. Hydration is very important in our sleep. You can try movements of circling your eyes, practicing this, and then you can go to bed with an intention to remember. Just relax and you're more present, and just think about, I want to remember my dreams. I want to perceive higher consciousness. I want to gain more knowledge about myself. Have this intention. You can also try meditation. One mantras that I found very useful and effective, I've taught this with other students, is called Ra Om Ga Om. These mantras are kind of like the bridge to physical to the astral. Again, sounds, frequencies, light, they're all vibrations. So, for example, Ra Om. Ra is remembering. Om is the frequency of your heart. Om basically holds all the frequencies of your crown chakra to your third eye to your throat. So if you imagine a color spectrum, you have your white light and it refracts to different colors, right? Same with sound. Om holds all of the frequencies in sound. And then Ga Om. Ga is knowledge, the Akash. And again, Om, that is your root chakra. So you just repeat Ra Om Ga Om, and you repeat those mantras. And so far, the people that I've taught this, they say that they can remember their dreams better. So you're bridging the physical to the astral from your Akashic records. You can also try lucid dreaming. Let your imagination flow. You can journal through this. That state where you're just kind of drifting into sleep, but you're kind of imagining something. That is lucid dreaming. You can also look at yourself in the mirror and just stare. This will awaken your consciousness. Like, really look into your iris, look into the depths of your soul, and you will start to see shapes. You will start to see colors. Don't be afraid. It's just memories. You might notice and start to remember pictures, images, past lives. You might have been an animal. Remember that you are an energetic being. Energy can be recreated or destroyed, so you carry that energetic footprint through thousands of lifetimes you've had. This is where EMC squared comes in. You have this notion that when you look at mirrors, bad things happen. It's the pervasive thoughts that society, that Christianity has instilled in all of us, the conditionings. Of course, mirrors are portals. Yes, they are. If you see the D word, just say hello. Hi, I'm here to work on myself. I'm sending you love. I love you. Visualize a pink light. Please go away. They're kind of like puppies. Remember that you are in control. Don't let the fear stop you from discovering yourself more. The D words are kind of like puppies, and you feed them with fear, and they're like, ooh, fear, treats. I want more treats. Then, yeah. So you just have to be stern sometimes. Say, fear, go away. You can, another technique somebody taught me was you form, I think that he was a shaman, and you kind of draw with two hands. You draw a triangle. So you draw a triangle 3 times in your forehead, the center of your forehead. You draw 3 times and then press in the middle where your third eye is. It helps, I think. And then if you still feel that fear, just say, get the fuck out, Visualize a white light on top of your head in your crown. Visualize this white light cascading down below you. This visualizes energetic bubble that nobody can come in, nothing or anything can come in. You are safe in this bubble that you have created. I like to call in Elohim. He is the top angel. He's the boss angel. And I sometimes call my archangels to protect me and wrap me around their big white wings. Whatever makes you feel comfortable, and you can just like say your affirmations. I am safe. I am in control. I perceive my reality. Whatever helps you. But those are some things. Write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. You are building this neural connection between your conscious and subconscious. And with practice, your intuition is enhanced. And the more you do this, you can connect the dots. Thank you all for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Big thank you to our sponsor, Notion. Notion is my second brain. I cannot live without it. I write everything from my studies, from my dreams, my journaling, work, everything. This is where my database is. I put all of the things that I've learned into Notion, and I just love it. I think everybody should have it. And yeah, it's free. You can also get the paid version. It's up to you. But anything that I want to remember is in Notion. I take down all the notes I can so I can, teach more people of the things that I've learned and help them in their spiritual growth, help them in their development. But thank you all for listening. I hope to see you next time. Please comment, like, share. It would really help me, and I would love to connect with you more. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is RadiantSunday222. You can read more about my esoteric, spiritual, and things that I've learned along the way. It's all in my website, RadiantSunday.com. I hope to see you guys next time or hear from you. I love you all, and let me know how these techniques, meditations, what you feel like, your comments. I want to know where you are in your spiritual journey. Thank you, and have a fantastic day.